Professor, how are you?
I'm fine, Maria. How are you today?
Um, uh, what's happening with the economy, Professor? What is going on? Oil prices are just not making any sense right now.
Well, uh, yeah, let's get into that a little bit. I think the one thing, following up on other conversations that we've had, is the fact that on the 1st of July, the transit fees that Turkey charges to go through the Bosphorus and the Dardanelles went up, and those are legal, of course, under the Montreux Convention of 1936. Now, if you listen to what's coming out of Washington D.C. as well as other capitals around the world, the claim is by the U.S. Secretary of State is that no transit fees, tolls, whatever you want to call them, are charged on any international waterways or straits any place in the world. And he claims that those are illegal. Well, here's a legal one. There is a legal one. It's a Montreux Agreement. And it was just July 1st, only a few days ago, that the rates were increased by 15% by Turkey. They annually adjust these, but the fee went up by 15% on July 1st. So
is that more than usual? Is that more than it usually goes up?
No.
Okay, but it's the symbol is the timing of it and the symbolic nature of it. Is that while we're talking about the Strait of Hormuz and how Iran should not be able to charge a fee, Turkey's fee in their straits went up, the fee they charge per year.
It went up, and it is legal under an international convention and agreement where the countries that signed that agreement, by the way, were all the countries that border have access to the Black Sea. Those countries plus France, Greece, Yugoslavia, which doesn't exist anymore. Of course, some of the borderlands were the Soviets signed it, but the U.S. and China were not involved. So you had a small list of countries, all the Black Sea countries, plus France, Yugoslavia, Japan, Australia. Those were the signatories. The U.S. and China were not involved with the thing.
Do you think the U.S. will come around to it and eventually accept an Iranian fee, or they would continue resisting it? And the reason I ask is a lot of people are worried that this disagreement is what drags the country, both countries, but one of them will instigate it back into war. European countries, according to Bloomberg, have already accepted, some European countries, and some Gulf countries have already accepted that a fee is inevitable. I don't know what the sentiment is in Asia, but the US is still saying that is a red line. They will not accept a fee by the Iranians. And the Iranians are still saying is they will not go back to how things were. And the Omanis, which are in the middle, according to, I think, New York Times or Wall Street Journal, they've sent an official proposal to the Americans of the structure of the fee that they will be charging with the Iranians, the new structure of the Strait of Hormuz that will include a fee. So just trying to understand what the outcome is likely to be.
Some of the Europeans are already on board with the concept anyway. Maybe it's because they're used to paying a fee to Turkey to go through the Bosphorus and the Dardanelles, and the Asians are on board or appear to be on board. I think the best way to solve it and have a stable situation going forward would be to have a convention like Montreux, because by the way, that was preceded by Lucerne. There was another agreement before the Montreux, so it went on for a long time after World War I, basically, and the breakup of the Ottoman Empire. By the way, before those agreements, just to put things in historical context, the Ottomans, Turkey had fortresses and military operations overseeing what was going on the Bosphorus and the Dardanelles. And these agreements kind of, shall we say, demilitarized the thing, and eventually settled it down into what we have today. And I think the easiest way to do it, you've got the Gulf states; those would be similar to the Black Sea states, and maybe the you know the great powers also, Russia, United
Hmm.
States, and China, and they have a convention and settle the thing.